are the Commanders rivals to the Giants? And if you're a fan of an opposing team, if you're a Cowboys fan or Giants, Eagles fan, whatever, do you consider the Commanders a rival to your team? You can call us at 800-636-1067 on the MGM National Harbor listener lines. See where the Commanders rank in that rivalry status.
See what the fans think about it.
And we just put it up as the Junkies poll of the day, presented by Scotty's Vodka, Maryland made, super smooth. Loved throughout the DMV. After 1 minute voting, 74% say yes.
Scotty's cocktail tonight during Bills Dolphins might be good.
All right.
Might have to do that.
Let's go to JC in D.C. We're going to have some annoying fans calling in now.
Here we go.
All right, let's go, JC. What you got?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
Happy Thursday.
Yeah.
Sir.
So essentially, I think the issue is that when the Skins and the Cowboys play, it's usually at week 16, 15, where it doesn't even matter. So it's like, okay, for the past 5-6 years, Skins haven't worried about anything. The Cowboys, let's play, the B squad. So there isn't
All right,
really
that's for
a
one of two. But what about when we smoke you on Thanksgiving?
Exactly. But how long ago was that? Like what? 10, 5, or 4 or 5 years
I
ago?
remember it once
It was
or twice.
RG.
It definitely happened when RG3 was
RG3.
here. There might have been one other in between then and now, but I can't quite
Exactly.
recall.
With the RG3 season, I was worried because like, oh my God, now it will be a rivalry.
Right.
But when I was in New York, and I would ask Giants fans, hey, we're playing the Skins this week. Are you excited? What's going on? Nah, we don't care about that. Our rival are the Cowboys. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think it's because of the big market New York versus big market Texas. And I consider our rival the Eagles because as of late we've been playing for things that matter instead of a draft pick. Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're Dallas's biggest rival at the moment. I'm not saying. But we're a freaking rival of the Dallas Cowboys. We're a lifelong
division
rival.
opponent.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That builds a rivalry over
We've had
time.
iconic matchups.
But I do think that that rivalry has diminished over the last 25 to 30 years.
I guess to an extent.
Because Washington has been in the basement for the majority of that time.
Exactly.
That hurts.
And
it hurts the rivalry.
exactly. And
If it becomes one-sided.
when they come to Washington,
Yeah,
half of the fans are from their team.
that is correct.
So they're not looking at it as this great rival where the fans, have some intimidating force and it's home field advantage for Washington.
No.
They're just looking at it as another game.
No, they look at it as we're gonna invade their stadium and make it a Cowboys home game. That's the approach.
I think that's the problem. That Commanders fans may think of it more of as a rivalry than Cowboys fans.
Right.
Do. Just like Ravens and Browns. We took the Browns team.
Right.
And the Browns are all up in arms about it, but they're a pimple on our ass.
Sure. Because you guys consider the Steelers
Yes,
a much bigger
exactly.
rival than the stupid
I feel like
Browns.
that's the same thing that's going on between
It's
Commanders
very
and Cowboys.
Very similar.
Let's go to Eric, Solomon's Island. Eric, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Look, so basically exactly what you guys were just saying. I mean, this has been one-sided for, at least the Ron era. I mean, each year we play them, whether it's the Giants, whether it's the Eagles or the Cowboys, and it feels like, it's our rival because we're trying to get on top, and they're always sweeping us, Now, I know they haven't – all three of those teams haven't swept us each year, but that's what it's felt like,
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and look and see the record, the head-to-head record in the last 25 to 30 years, but I'm guessing it's probably pretty lopsided.
It's probably not pretty.
I don't think that matters, though. The Lions
I
have
think it
always been a
matters.
rival of, say, the Packers or whatever, and they were going to get smoked for decades.
I think it matters if there's a 3-decade-long, basically dry spell on one side of a rivalry. I think it diminishes it.
I'm not going to say it's the top rivalry, but I think it's a rivalry. Derek, what's up?
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I just wanted to say that Kayvon Thibodeaux is an absolute idiot. He's looking like a bum right now. He needs to wait to be able to. Cowboys fan, I think our biggest rival right now is the Eagles, but I think, the Redskins and Giants will always be a rival. I think anybody in your same conference will be considered a rival because you play them twice a year. Like you mentioned, mentioned, it might diminish over time based off a skill set, but that doesn't ever go away. You know, those guys hate each other in their conference. Some of them won't even sign with the same team in their conference because they're such rivals. So it's always going to be smash mouth football, but yeah, they're definitely rivals, and it won't ever change. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Thanks for the call.
That's from a Cowboys fan.
800-636-1067. Where do the Commanders rank as far as rivalries, especially with their NFC East brethren, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants?
I would actually say, if you asked me, our biggest rival right now, I think is the Cowboys or is the Giants. I think it's the Giants. Maybe just because we have the best shot against them.
I might say the Giants too, just because the Daniel Jones having the Commanders' number is just a weird thing that's happened.
And
I feel like it's the Giants.
And your boy Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito beats the Commanders. I mean, there's been some weirdness to the rivalry over the last few years.
I feel like Philly, they always have the edge. Dallas kind of always has the edge. They're definitely still rivals, but the one I feel like
wasn't
the most equal has been the Giants.
Wasn't Mara the guy that basically had the NFL enforce like the salary cap bit when Shanahan was here?
Was it the Maras?
I think it was I think it was real bad blood between the two franchises.
Right.
And I think that still kind of lingers.
All right, let's go to Jim in Tices. Jim, what's up?
Hey, guys, love your show.
Thanks,
you,
man.
Jim.
I think it's a combination of two things from the rivalry. I think it's in terms of which team has the players that you can hate the most, and also are you winning? And when I think about the Cowboys over the years, I think about Romo and Michael Irvin, and I know I go back, Staubach. I mean, the bottom line is for the quarterbacks, and Troy Aikman, you wanted our defensive linemen to take them out, actually get them out of the game. And because we kind of didn't like the players, so as Washington fans, we got all excited about rooting against them, and also the Eagles. I think the other teams look at us and they can't figure out a player, especially today, they can't figure out a player to hate on our team. There isn't one person that any Dallas fan's like, oh, yeah, we got to really step up for Washington because we really don't like, Terry McLaurin. I mean, so honestly, I think it's a function of, are there people for Washington fans to really get energized to dislike? And for them, the teams in our division, they really don't see any excitement when they look at our team.
All right. It might be fair. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to see excitement from here on out.
You would think.
They're going to see excitement at that quarterback position.
Is on the field.
Yeah. Maybe this will help the rivalry.
Maybe put the paddles to it.
What are you looking
theory.
at, Valdez? You just think there's no rivalry, that we're just
No. Drab's made a great point to me. He said Thibodeaux is basically doing what Eric does. They're the Commanders.
Right.
That's what he's saying. He's saying they're the Commanders. Don't ever put us in the same breath.
Right.
They're the Commanders.
Well, but I don't think I do that about our division rivals.
You know what he should do? Kayvon Thibodeaux should pull up something called NFL standings over the last 10 to 15 years and look at what the Giants have done. Okay, they're in the same neighborhood as the Commanders in the last 10 to 15 years, whether he wants to admit it or not.
I still think
they've been abysmal.
If you ask Giants fans,
they have, but head to head, they've dominated them.
Understood.
I still think Giants fans would consider us a rival, not the top rival, but a rival.
Well, how do your boys feel up there?
Well, they're just full of shtick, so they'll say no. Especially
Kayvon Thibodeaux's acting like the Giants are living in a waterfront mansion, and then the Commanders are like a trailer home. They're in the same neighborhood. I have a bulletin for him.
I just did the numbers.
Yeah.
Since 2010.
Yeah.
All right.
Those three teams in the division are 54, 20, and 1 against Washington.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty damning.
Basically winning 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That is very lopsided. Look at you doing research on the fly.
I think I did that right.
All right, let's real quick go to George in Bowie. George, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks, man.
I think the rivalry, history-wise, yeah, we're rivals with everyone in the division.
Right.
The present day, we're not even considered. We are kind of laughable. Even when the Eagles was down back in the days, there was a hard out. Like, we're not even a hard out anymore. We don't play no teams tough. You know, we want to get up for Dallas, but we get blown out 55-0. So, like, I can understand why the other teams in the division and their fans don't consider us a rivalry because we're not competing on this high level as they are. We're always at the bottom of the division. You know, we letting Tony DeVito beat us, unknown quarterbacks beat us. And if it was the other way around, I would look at the team as not a rivalry either. So we got to start winning again, and we got to start actually kicking and dominating to be considered a rivalry again. But right now, we're just kind of laughable.
What do you expect? George, what do you expect to happen this weekend?
Well, I want us to beat the Giants. We need to beat the Giants. Like Lurch said yesterday, this is a must-win game because we've lost like 6 straight against the Giants. So we need something to build off of to be considered a rivalry. So if we go out there and beat the Giants again and beat them again later on the season, yeah, we could start talking that talk. But until then, we can't say nothing.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the
Thanks,
call.
George.
Hey, for me to get to the 10 wins I predicted, I need a sweepy sweep of the Giants. Like, that is
Yeah,
a
you do.
must.
It starts,
It's a must win.
Starts Sunday.
Oh, and send this stat to Thibodeaux. The Commanders have 4 more wins in the last decade against his terrible New York Giants. Thank you very much.
So hold on. So what is our?
The Commanders have won 4 more games in the last decade.
You mean total?
Total.
Yeah,
than
not
the
against.
Giants.
Not against
Not
them.
head to head.
Not head to head.
Okay, I'm not doing the head to head. I'm talking
What are,
Head-to-head, we're on
what
the
are the
wrong
records
side.
of both teams?
abysmal. I don't have that.
Oh, okay. You said the 4 more.
Commanders have
both
64
awful.
wins in the last 10 years. Giants have 60.
Right. They both suck.
But we're like 64 and like
It's
90
like-
or
It's like
something.
64 and 102 is the
Yeah, they're
Commanders.
both terrible. Those are your records.